Hello everyone and welcome back to Vox Adventures. In my room because the den's being used. Not by a person, just for purposes. Can't use the... Well, can't use the dining room table either because that is likewise occupied. So here we are. Oh, okay then. Just one note here, if you can hear my fan, I apologize. Okay, so I'll continue on at the next paragraph. So, how are we all doing? We all good? Good. I've been fine, just overslept a bit the last couple of days. Had a interview on Monday. Got called on Tuesday if I'm still interested in a crossing guard position. Things have been good. Still reading the Egyptian by Mika Waltari, but I'll probably be finished that either tomorrow or Sunday, or if not Sunday, well, I'll be finished it someday soon. A bit angry at my mom for moving some of my DVDs that were in alphabetical order, and now I have to re-alphabetize them. Moving them from one shelf to another. They were in alphabetical order where they were originally, and now they're not. I'm sorry, I don't really have a subject to talk about at the moment. Although, if you want to know something interesting, I did some more reading of Palaphates, and his explanation for Medusa is that Medusa was a human woman, and her Esther Steno and Uriel owned a statue of Athena called Gorgon, because that's what their people called Athena. Interesting, isn't it? Interesting thing about Medusa, a lot of people might think a woman who's snake from the waist down. But that's not the case. The Gorgons are actually described as ringed humanoids in classical texts. The snake from the waist down thing didn't come into being until Clash of the Titans in 1981. And that whole assaulted by Poseidon thing is actually well, it's nothing more than gratuitous, tragic nonsense invented by a Roman. Hesiod. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Hesiod. It might have been someone else. I can't remember at the moment. But regardless, it's not the original origin. The original origin is that they were just born monsters. Far better than that gratuitous, tragic nonsense. So what else can I talk about? Recently found the PBS documentary series The Dinosaurs, which I've been looking for a long time. I'd seen stock footage from that in the Magic School Best Dinosaur program back in the day. Turns out it was also used in the Microsoft Home Dinosaur program. Because why the hell not? And because it was only excuse me, animated segments, I thought it was like the traditionally animated predecessor to Walking with Dinosaurs. Turns out the animated segments are only like 22 minutes of what I think is a 4-episode documentary series, each episode having been made for a hour-long time slot. That's disappointing. Okay, let's carry on. Awful lot of pigs. Hmm. Hmm. Where exactly are we going? I mean, isn't that always the question? Okay, let's see. Oh, terrific. Well, that one hit me. Yeah, so what can I talk about? Been working on the planning document for the Carchemish series. Going to go for a primarily 1910s aesthetic. Much like how Batman the animated series had a primarily 1940s aesthetic. I mean, it's taking inspiration from shows of my childhood, so why not? Male fashion will be 19, well, it should be a bit more specific, you know, 1900 to, you know, that first decade of the 20th century in the 1910s based, women's fashion 1910s and 1920s based, uniforms 1930s based. Excuse me. Cars will be, you know, that first decade of the 1900s and 1910s based. Music will be 1910s based. Helicopters will be 1940s based. Because there were helicopters back then. weaponry will be 1890s to 1940s based. So yeah, that's basically it, quite the retro universe. I felt that if I just copied Batman the animated series exactly, there'd be nothing special. I remember that Johnny Canuck had actually debuted in 1869. Johnny Canuck I should say, is he was created as a political cartoon hero, and was later reinvented as a 1940s comic book action hero during World War II. So taking inspiration from that and my decision for to include reincarnation, with the past lives, of course, very much looking like they came from the 1860s. It just grew from there. Excuse me. And following Batman the animated series, I imagine there being, well, if I'd ever have an artist who would want to do pictures, things like dates would be contradictory, and I have 3 contradictory dates. Those being 1912, 1947, and 1956. And in regards to all of the stuff I didn't mention, in regards to aesthetic, that would all be 1950s based. So things like planes, ships. Yes, there would definitely be television. Movie theaters. You know, a retro universe, but with our modern sensibilities. One of our villainous groups, now called the Knights of the Clan of Canada, obviously a KKK inspired won't still be appearing. And of course I'm definitely engaging in some artistic license because unfortunately I have done my research. And I say unfortunately because I really do not like doing research on those things. Can't even call them people. Things. And well, the initial plan was to name the characters who do not defect after, you know, grand wizards of the KKK, which is pretty much all but one of them. No, wait, sorry. That's in reverse. Only one of them defects, the others don't. Yeah, the original plan was to name all but the one who does defect after Grand Wizards of the KKK. But research actually shows the KKK actually was not founded by Nathan Bedford Forrest, who, if you're familiar with the fictional character Forrest Gump, the fictional character Forrest Gump is the very real descendant, I mean the very fictional descendant of the very real Nathan Bedford Forrest, or it was named after him. I can't remember. It was one of those two. Might have even been both. But as it turns out, Nathan Bedford Forrest was not the founder of the Ku Klux Klan. Rather, 6 former Confederate officers were. So 3 out of the 4 named Klansmen or Knights, whatever you want to call them, are named after those 6, with the last one being named after Nathan Bedford Forrest and what's his name? Simmons. Like, I really don't want to remember these people's names. And the reason I remember the surname of that guy is because, well, the villain in question is named Nathan Simmons. Do the math. Oh, jeez. Einstein and Freud in the same room. Interesting. Had no idea the two were friends. Hmm. 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 So as I was saying on artistic license, the KKK expanded into Canada in 1925. This was the second incarnation, which, you know, white hoods, bigots and bed sheets and all that. But the first incarnation actually didn't have that. They wore hoods, masks, yes, but not that bigot and bedsheet ensemble. So that's basically what it's gonna be like for the Knights of the Clan of Canada. And of course their name is taken from the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan of Canada. With and of course they had Canada spelled with a K, so... Wait, wouldn't that be KKKKK? I don't know. Those things, they don't think like like humans do. They don't think like humans do. They're... Oh dear. Yeah, but as I said, taking inspiration from the fact that the first incarnation of the KKK did not go with that big bigots and bed sheets ensemble, and might not have even practiced the cross burning. Which, honestly, it's smart. A lot smarter than their successors were, because that basically announces, it's us, we're here! And much like the Canadian branch that was founded back in 1925, yeah, the Knights of the Clan... no, good lord, that's just so long. Look, I'll just call them the clan. Basically, let me just tell you how it goes. The expansion into Canada had a different, completely different motive. It was the defense of the Britishness of Canada in relation to both ethnicity and religion, so if you weren't British, yeah, it sucked. If you weren't Protestant, oh, it was much worse. They actually once bombed a Catholic church. These, by any, oh, they were terrorists long before anyone officially classified them as terrorists. It was what, only the last decade or so that they were identified as such? What the hell is wrong with the world? Of course I'm getting grim, dreary, boring. But the strange thing is, they're the most mundane, villainous group. In the story, there's of course the Moloch cult, which is led by Brian Behan, a resurrected spider person who's of course taken human form. Who's actually inspired by Ra's al Ghul and the Marvel Comics villain Apocalypse. Specifically in relation to Ra's al Ghul, the Dark Knight trilogy portrayal, where he was portrayed by Irish actor Liam Neeson. Then you have the House of York. Inspired by the Royal Flush Gang. In fact, I actually got the idea because, well, I have a War of the Roses themed deck of cards. The leader of which is Benedict Olivier, obviously named after Benedict Cumberbatch and Laurence Olivier. But I mentally cast, or at least, well, I technically picture it in animation, not live action. Hand-drawn, of course. But physically he's modeled after Peter Dinklage, who of course played Richard III also. As far as mental casting for the voice one goes, Colm Feore, who else? Also someone who's played Richard III. Then there's another group. I can't remember the full name. Of course, that might of the group that I have, but that might be an indication of just how long a name I gave them. But they're inspired by the Hellfire Club of Marvel Comics, and I like themed chess sets. I looked them up online to look at them, and of course I found a Shakespeare themed chess set. War of the Roses, and the deck of course ties into the Shakespeare theme I'm going with. Our leads are named Benedict and Beatrice. Their past lives were Henry and Catherine. Henry V, of course, and Much Ado About Nothing. And when it comes to this Hellfire Club inspired group, they're composed of, keep in mind, it's just code names. We're comprised of Henry VIII, Cleopatra, Shylock, and Cardinal Wolsey. Jeez, I can't remember. It's just that name. It's confusing. And again, this next character is actually unaffiliated. He's this Joker-inspired character, and of course ties into the deck. The War of the Roses themed deck I've got. Warwick the Kingmaker. Again, Shakespeare. Because obviously Warwick appears as a character in Shakespeare's War of the Roses plays. I'm a bit of a nerd, but I wear it proudly. And to my Third Rock from the Sun, my fellow Third Rock from the Sun fans, why did I come here? There's nowhere to go. Oh, for God's sake. Compared to other villain groups in Carchemish, the clan is positively mundane. But that doesn't mean they're any less dangerous. Compared to Carchemish himself, for a character I've envisioned as instinctively drawn towards those as unnatural as himself with intents to kill, Yeah, I don't think I see any reason for him to. I mean, yeah, he's technically our main villain, but I don't think I see any reason for him to actually come into conflict with, those bigots. Look, Clan is actually going to be a very uh, strange departure from other villains because they're not going to be green skinned, and this green skin thing is something that ended up coming into being with the 1960s Spider-Man series, where many original villains ended up having green skins eventually. And even Mysterio was even portrayed as having green skin when he made his third season appearance. But that stems from the fact that I figure that it makes no sense for white supremacists to have green skin because it just it just raises the question of how they qualify if their skin is an unnatural color. It's the same if they were black supremacists. How would it work if they're green? Yeah, so there you go. It's just really, yeah, I had to cut the green skin from them because it just wouldn't make sense. But a lot of the villains wear certain But villains, of course, have colors they wear. It's not an affiliation thing, it's just they're villains. And of course, I can't remember them all. Blue, black. Those are the only two I can remember right now. Green, I think. I mean, I've got a... I mean, there's that color that keeps popping up. I've got a green sky, green skinned villains wearing green. And again, that green sky thing, Spider-Man, 1967. Second season onward. But of course it was only 3 seasons. But you get the idea, you get what I'm saying. The Men in Black, of course, have been given a completely different attire than you'd typically think of them, to reflect that they're typically seen as wearing, by those who claim to have seen them as wearing old-fashioned suits. They're going to be the ones in my story. Mr. Brown, Mr. Jones, and Mr. Smith will be dressed in Georgian attire. You know, attire from the Georgian period, and something that I really hate about that name is that it includes the reign of William IV. Why? It makes no sense. It makes no blasted sense whatsoever. George III's successor was... Wait, no. George IV's successor was not George V. That was Edward the Seventh's successor. William IV was his successor. Why are we including William IV and the Georgian period? It makes no damn sense. Why are we including his reign as part of the Georgian period? How does that make any damn sense? I don't know, it's just weird. Do I have an exact, any exact idea on the costuming? Because the Georgian period was a pretty long time. That was 123 years. No, I don't. I don't have anything beyond Georgian for the Men in Black. Okay. And keeping with their Georgian aesthetic, yeah, horse and carriage for them. Rather than some older model of automobile. Yeah, because I imagine they were actually active during the lives of Henry Strauss and Catherine Sharp, the past lives of Benedict and Beatrice. So really the Georgian look just makes sense. Can be owned even in the Victorian era. Oh, for God's sake. Yeah, I've got quite a few things planned. Warwick the Kingmaker will actually be our starter villain. There's actually going to be quite a few influences for him. Of course, you have the Joker, but you also have Marvel Comics' Sabretooth and the Shredder from the Ninja Turtle franchise, who is Master Which, of course, was a starter villain. Well, 2 minutes left, so what now? I don't know, I've rambled on quite a bit. Okay, don't hate me for saying this, because it's not a spoiler, it's a 39-year-old comic. And the Shredder dies in the first issue of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic. Yes, that is the truth. And that's basically what inspired me to make Warwick the Kingmaker a starter villain. This particularly mundane, not exactly mundane, but you get what I'm saying, a guy dressed like he's going to be in a performance of Henry VI, Part 3. Yeah, it's pretty weird, and I'm not exactly sure what crime he's going to commit. Anyway, whoops, that's all for today. I'm Brian Croy Dragon signing out. Stay straight.